Hey guys, I'm back as a presenter this time.
That's why I was confused. Why did you have to leave?
I had
It's
to
you
log
and
off. I had to
Caesar,
log
right?
off. Yep. Zizou. I had to
All
log off
right.
as a host so I can log back on as a presenter. So I'm gonna change my background.
Great, great. So you have switched your role right now, and same with me.
Just like
So let's change
changing a
roles.
mask. You know what I mean? You
You
were a
should
presenter,
change
and then
your
my outfit.
shirt or something.
But so basically, what happens is that Alaville here was kind of the presenter, now became the lead host, and we basically switched seats exactly. Okay, let's just wait for Zizou, and then I can present our presentation.
Great.
Oliver, I did ask you, do you have a co-host? Would you like me to stay, or shall I sign off? I come back later.
Well, I think it'll be wonderful if you could stay so you could hear parents' presentation as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lisa. I'd like to do that.
Sure. And maybe while we're waiting for Zizou, Perrin, you could give a quick background of this Vickathon.
All right, so the story starts a couple of months ago, where I was invited by Alavel and Miss Gallet, who is also a frequent visitor here in Gift, to join this hackathon. And it was very intriguing when I first entered because I saw people from many different countries, and my teammates in particular were from Israel and the Philippines. However, I think I was the only one there who was living in Saudi Arabia. So the time slot, the time difference, the time zone difference was very interesting. Oh, I think Zizou's already here in the waiting room or the panelist room. Sorry, the waiting room, yeah. So we can promote Zizou, and then we are good.
Okay, so has been a very interesting hackathon, and I think there's really value in hackathons, um, especially the opportunity to work with students from other countries. So I hope that we could encourage more projects like that.
I'm definitely up for another hackathon. If you ask me, my team
That's
really had to go from when we first met each other in that first breakout room session. Everybody was kind of shy, and they were like, "Oh, hello." Yeah. But then by the end of the hackathon when we were presenting, everybody was almost like siblings with the way we were interacting with each other, and that really helped make our presentation be as smooth as possible. So I think Zizou is already here, and while waiting, I am going to share my screen.
Zizou is with us. I already. Hi.
Good afternoon.
All right. So Perrin and Zizou, introduce yourselves, and the floor is yours.
All right. So here is the presentation. I think you guys can see it, right? Totally. So please tell me if you guys can see the presentation yet.
All good.
All right. Zizou, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so let's just do a little introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Perrin Laxa. I am a Filipino homeschooler and 100 youth ambassador living here in Saudi Arabia. And Zizi, why don't you introduce yourself a bit?
I'm Zizou Salting. I'm 15 years old. I live here in the Philippines after moving from the Bahamas at 8 years old. I'm also a homeschooler. I'm part of the Charlotte Mason Authentique program. I'm also a competitive swimmer and a competitive badminton player.
All right, so let's get started. Hello, everyone. We are the Roads to Our Future team, and we are very delighted to share our solution with all of you. But first, a little introduction. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. My name is Perrin, Laxa, and like I said, I am living here in the country of Saudi Arabia. With me is my fellow coworker Zizou Salting from the Philippines. As you can see, this is the Road to the Future team. We had members from all around the world, three of which came from Israel. Even if some of them couldn't make it today, we cannot wait to tell you all about our plans.
The past 3 decades have marked a significant time in human history as we've advanced greatly in many fields. But these things came with a cost, of course. Higher levels of pollution and consumption. In fact, the carbon emission rates alone have risen by 60% since the 1990s. This has caused the quality of our own oxygen to significantly decrease, heavily reducing biodiversity as well. Other methods, like private vehicles, taxis, and so on, have caused most students these days to choose not to bike. Only 26% of students in 22.7% of schools choose to ride a bike. This means two things. Firstly, students who commute to and from school may not be getting the recommended amount of physical exercise. Most schools hold physical education classes, which can last anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and take place around 1 to 2 times a week.
By doing the math, we end up with students who only get around 45 minutes to 2 hours worth of exercise weekly, assuming they aren't in any extracurricular sports activities. You see, the recommended time spent on exercise for children and adolescents aged 6 to 17 is around 270 to 360 minutes, or 4.5 to 6 hours of moderate or vigorous exercise per week, excluding 1 day for rest, of course. By commuting, by commuting, also coupled with the insufficient time spent on physical exercises, students are not only unable to reach the recommended amount of daily movement, but are also excessively using vehicles that produce carbon emissions, directly contributing to the greenhouse effect. And we do not want that. The greenhouse effect, after all, is that in which gases such as carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere and trap heat, basically causing it to reflect in on itself, just like a greenhouse. So, what is a solution that hits both birds with one stone? Of course, in an eco-friendly way, biking. Biking is a form of aerobic exercise, which is great not only for students, but for adults and everyone else too. Aerobic exercise can benefit as it works for your heart, lungs, muscles, directly increasing not only your stamina, but your immune system as well.
So, how exactly do we promote more bike riding? Here at Roads to Our Future, we want to encourage people to use our bikes through community events, charity races, and so much more.
We plan to design an app that can easily let you access and track your use of our free-to-use bicycles located around our city. These very bicycles will also be equipped with an attachable umbrella just in case it rains, especially in places like the Philippines. Most importantly, we aim to create intentional cities that promote bike riding by lessening the distance needed to travel to where a person needs to go, through bike lanes lined with lights for the nighttime and pathways filled with forestry. Walking or biking will never be more enjoyable.
We hope to encourage the usage of bikes not only for the people but for our Earth as well. We only have one home, so it should be our pleasured responsibility to care for it. With the ever-growing problem of climate change and pollution, we do not have a lot of time left before irreversible damage is done to our home. As some of you may have heard or even seen for yourself, located in New York, a countdown has been displayed, ticking down the years until the global temperatures rises 1.5 degrees Celsius higher than it originally was. The statistics provided by the organization displaying the clock even state that with little to no action against climate change, global temperatures can possibly increase up to 2.11 degrees Celsius by 2030 alone.
This will affect everyone around the world. All countries near the northern hemispheres, especially the ones with high latitudes, and countries with more mountainous terrain will experience extreme precipitation, resulting in both landslides and floods. However, for countries in the Middle and Near East, just like the one I live in, civilians would experience groundwater depletion, leaving quite few with access to water. One of the ways we can take our own first steps in our own personal journey to contributing a positive change is by doing our part in reducing carbon emissions. How? Well, we hope our bikes will be useful to any and everyone. Cycling, after all, is a wondrous form of improving not only your physical health, but your mental health as well. When you cycle, you're given the chance to view the scenery of wherever you may be. So, like we said, psychology has shown that viewing scenery can reduce stress levels, improve your mood, and put you in a state of relaxation, among other positive things. So, with the reduced usage of carbon emissions by cycling instead of driving or commuting, we are rewarded with the sight of the world's beautiful scenery, seeing everything the world has to offer, which we would otherwise not have if global temperatures would rise. Now, while bikes are a key part of our solution, city design is our main focus. After all, where would people bike if not for an eco-friendly city? We take notes from already existing designs, adding the good parts to our city plan, focus on bikes. In fact, many of our ideas are inspired by already existing city design concepts. Many of these are cities designed to promote walking rather than the usage of cars. Long gone are the days where cities are designed around cars, taking up miles and miles of space just to accommodate those pollution machines. While the terms underground transportation isn't new in itself, it's how we plan to incorporate underground transportation that's unique. You see, while the surface of the city can be focused on path and bikeways, the underground can be where the roads are located, not only trains. While it's important to encourage biking, we both cannot and should not completely not allow cars to exist in our city design. The benefit of having these road systems underground is that we can take the pollution and filter it ourselves before it can even reach the atmosphere. Because less horizontal space is taken up for the layout of the city, more of the usable surrounding land may be used for farming. Less ecosystems will be affected and less animals will be displaced.
We aim to encourage more bike usage through not only spreading awareness of the benefits to yourself and to the environment, but by also setting up a system within our own created app, which allows users to volunteer a program to help transport those who may be physically disabled and unable to ride a bike. Along with this, we also plan to create charity bike rides and community events in which we spread more awareness about climate change and how cycling is a great alternative to vehicles. When I was a kid, I moved from my home country of the Philippines to the Bahamas, halfway across the world. The skies there were the most clear and beautiful thing I can remember seeing. But that was because the Bahamas is a relatively small island. When I came back home from the Philippines, I was quite disappointed and very sad to see how gray and smoky our own skies are. If so much as looking to our own sky reminds us of the growing and very present problem of climate change, then I say that if we start now, even with just the smallest action, the smallest step towards a brighter, clearer future, then we can prevent the disasters and ecological destruction that would come with the damage of climate change. Along with cleaner air also comes a cleaner and healthier environment. If the air around us is cleaner, we will be able to see improvements such as growth and increase of lichens. Lichens are a type of fungi that not only indicate that the air around it is clean, but also serve as a food source for deers and even nesting material for some birds. Along with this, cleaner air and a healthier climate in general can restore the homes of animals, such as polar bears and those who rely on sea ice or cold environments. We can also prevent the possibility of up to 6% of insects, 8% of plants, and 4% of vertebrate animals becoming reduced if the global temperatures do increase up to 1.5%.
A cleaner, more energy efficient city of the future. Wow. The Roads to Our Future team envisions a world in which individuals do not have to worry about taking a walk or a bike ride, breathing in the fresh, crisp air around them.
We believe that we can make nature as it once was by providing a better, more fun alternative instead of using cars for short distances. After all,
adventure is only one bike away. Thank you, everybody, and that's the conclusion of our presentation.
Thank you so much, Perrin and Zizou. Unfortunately, don't have any time for questions, but maybe just a short feedback, Celeste, before you go.
It was a lovely presentation. My big question, quickly, I just got to sneak it in, or otherwise just to be considered. The security on your bike stations. How do you know your bikes will be there tomorrow?
Well, you see, with our app, these are smart bikes. So not only are they versatile and you can attach things like an umbrella to it, but they're also smart enough to be able to lock themselves. So there's a very simple they're very simple solutions. Actually, I already have two ideas I can think of right now. So either number one, you have a smart bike station where you have the bikes just in rows, or number two, the bikes themselves can have an automatic clasp on them that just secures the bike. So if you try to ride on it, you either have to have extremely strong legs to break the clasp, or you have to carry the bike. But obviously, carrying the bike will be really heavy. So, I doubt that they'll be able to do that.
Well done, well done. Thank you very much. And I will say goodbye now. Thank you very much. Hello, Kim, Kenny. Good morning.
Hello,
Okay.
Celeste. Good morning.
I will
Nice
say
meeting
goodbye to
you.
everybody later. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Celeste. Thank you, Perrin
Perrin and
Zizou.
Zeno. That was a beautiful presentation. Well done to you guys and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll
Thank
go
you,
to the
everybody.
next presenter.
We'll
Thank
take
you
our
so
leave.
much.
Thank you.